please consider heading over to mulliganbrothers.com where you can help support more projects like this in the future, or you become a YouTube member with the join button down below.
What's the journey from amateurs to pro? Like, what does that look like? What did your journey look like as well? And then also the leap, like what was the difference when you eventually got there?
So I was a top amateur. So my journey from amateur to pro the pinnacle of my amateur career is international tournaments, world championships, Olympics. That is my path. That was my path, you know, and that's not for everyone. Some people have a few amateur fights, turn over professionally. They have to start low at the bottom of the pile and slowly work their way to the top of the professional ranks through the hard work. And I do say it's my dad. As an amateur, definitely the hard work is all done from him. It was from his side. Through his hard work, I was a top amateur. And I was always looked at as a Olympic hopeful. I went to the Youth Olympics. So it's like, you know, I'm already on that path. I'm already with Team GB. I'm already in Sheffield training alongside the biggest names. And my transition, it started to look less like I was going to the Olympics because a few losses were coming in at the wrong times. You know, the fights I should have won, I was just letting them slip, and it makes that Olympic dream seem a bit further away. But you still can't discredit the 8 national titles, the European medal, the Youth Olympic. It's still a lot of pedigree. So fortunately, even with those hiccups, I already established myself so much as an amateur, not only in the UK but internationally, that when I turned professional, I always believed that I'd be in a privileged position. And that's before obviously the big thing happened with meeting and training with KSI.
Yeah, so this is what I did want to go over, and I'm not saying it's like defending yourself against this, but the idea that you've been connected to the YouTube side of boxing, like just explain like why that's not the case, like you say, the pedigree, like what does that mean? Like, you know, we've got like, if somebody who's not understanding of the world of boxing, they might just assume. So how would you describe the difference?
The easiest way to put it is KSI is who he is because when I was winning national titles, he was making videos. What I was doing when I was boxing and traveling up and down and winning these national titles, he was making YouTube videos, right? So that's what he does. That's what he specializes in, you know? And he stepped into boxing in 2017, but because of what he does, creates so much following and so much attention, as opposed to me within the community. Yeah, everyone knows you, but it's not televised, it's not on a big scale, you know. No one puts it on the YouTube channel and gets millions of views as an amateur. No matter if you're the best amateur in the world, you still won't get a million views. You know, that's how it is. What he done accumulated attention, and a lot of people confuse attention with quality. Just because 10 million people watch what you do doesn't mean it's good. It just means you've managed to get them to watch what you're doing. And I feel like that's where the lines blur between the YouTube boxing world and the traditional boxing world, is the numbers, the finances. They are mistaken for quality, and they're not linked. The fan base was built from something completely different, not because they've been boxing for a ton of years. I've been boxing since I was 6 years old in the boxing gym, right? That cannot be replaced by subscribers or followers. It's just not the same thing. You know, it's a completely different thing, but less people cared. So it's like it doesn't count. If it's less views, no, it don't count. It counts. It's just not seen. But you know, what's not seen is not believed. That's what they say.
So yeah, this is my maths is probably quite poor here, but I'm sure this is somewhere. So you've probably got like 12 to 16 extra years of boxing training over like the YouTube side of things.
Yeah, I'd say like 16 years. Yeah.
Can you skip that? Like, this is a conversation right now. Can you skip those
you
years?
You can't. You can accelerate it with more access to things. So if I'm Jake Paul and I just started boxing, I'm already a millionaire. Of course, I can get the best trainer in the world. I can train full time, get the best facility, fly wherever I need to fly to progress quicker. But you can't skip, and I think that's the beautiful thing about boxing, because in life, there's a lot of things that you can kind of skip over. People don't really get found out for doing things incorrectly, or if you're in a certain position, you can just cheat it. You can kind of cheat it. Boxing, you can't, because once you get in the ring, it's only you two in there. If your opponent hasn't been cheating and you have, that only ends. I don't know what that was. It only ends in one outcome. If you've been slacking and your opponent hasn't been slacking, you'll get found out. If I've been putting years into the sport and learning things that you never even heard of, before you even picked up a pair of gloves, things that I was learning, when we're in there and it's my brain against yours, I'm going to come out on top. I just know more. It doesn't matter how much money you got, what training you have. I've been doing it. And that's what boxing's about. It's what you've been doing, not what your coach has been doing, not what your mate has been doing. It's about what you have been doing. And that's why it's one of the finest sports, because you can't cheat it.
We were talking earlier, what's a moment that you conceived the idea of becoming a champion?
World champion, or...
Let's go, when stop verbalising world champion.
I think I truly believed that I could become a world champion when I moved back here. I think when I moved back here last year, started training with my dad again, training with my strength conditioning coach, Leon Williams. That's when I really started to believe it, because I knew I was getting what I needed. I didn't feel like something was missing. I felt like we've got the team now. We've got the structure in place. The only person that's going to ruin this is me. And I don't intend on ruining it, because I want to do it. So when I got back and I really started working properly and getting myself back, it felt like, oh, I'm back. This is what's going to get me to be a world champion. I can be a world champion because my team know what it takes to get there. They're doing it. I'm listening and I'm doing it. Simple equation. I'll be a world champion.
I love it. So do you believe in like kind of manifesting stuff, like in terms of like thinking about stuff? And
I do think you can manifest negativity. I also believe you can manifest positivity. And I also believe that my journey is not a journey of failure, because I think there's a lot of things that's happened in my life where if I was supposed to go down and out, it would have happened already. I genuinely believe that whether it's injury, whether it's outside of the ring, there's been things that's happened to me where if someone's supposed to go down, they would go down. And I think I get confidence in the fact that no matter when things go left, they always end up going right. And they end up going further right than they were before they went left. And so now when things don't go my way, I'm like, something special is about to happen. Something even bigger is about to happen, because that just seems to be the pattern of my life. But I try to minimize through whatever I can do things not going the way they should go.
It's funny, like I think we feel the same thing. Like we've had it where we've lost all revenue, everything's going to shit.
Yeah.
And I think the way of our life's gone is kind of similar. That there was something good around the corner. Kind of like trusted the process. It worked out right. Yeah.
You got to believe in the ups and downs. The downs are only as down as you make them. It's true, and that's the truth. It's only as down as you make them, because there's always something to seek in those situations that is positive. And you just have to program your mind that way. And when you do that, you get out of those little down periods and you're back. And you just don't get addicted to anything. Don't get addicted to being low. Don't get addicted to being high, because any adverse situation will get you down. It will get to you more. If you're rich and you get attracted to that, I'm rich. When you're not as rich, you're gonna go down. If you're upset and you're like, I'm really upset, you're just gonna go crashing. You just can't really dive too much into anything. You just gotta let things be and enjoy it, but don't overindulge. Whether it's anything, you overindulge in food, you're gonna get some complications. You overindulge in anything, you're gonna get complications. Just enjoy everything in a balance. That's what I try to do. Balance everything.